YouTube, welcome back for another College Pick'ems video. This is week 3. So, last week, we both killed it. I said last week that one of us was going to kill it and the other one's going to suck. But we actually both killed it. I finished 9-1, and Rhett finished 7-3. Sucks for you. I beat you this week. But, yeah. So, Bama lost. Texas upset Bama. Tulane lost. That's my only loss for last week. And then Miami was able to pull up the upset over Texas A&M. Besides that, Colorado showed out. Primetime showed out. I'm still on the hype train. Rhett, are you still on the hype train?
For now. We'll see next week when they play Oregon. But for now, yes, I'm on the hype train.
All right. Yeah, there we go. Big game next week. It seems like this week there's not a lot of big matchups going on. Rhett, you want to talk about any games from last week?
I'll just talk about some of the close games, maybe some of the upsets. We had North Carolina barely edging out Appalachian State. In-state rivals, apparently, with a Group of 5 and a Power 5 school. Appalachian State always seems to give North Carolina trouble, and they didn't disappoint last week. Wisconsin got upset by Washington State. You need to look out for Cam Ward, Washington State's quarterback. Very solid. He's gonna cause problems against the other Pac-12 defenses. What else do we have here? Utah barely surviving against Baylor. They needed 2 scores in the last, I think it was 2 minutes of the game to win. They showed great grit, I guess you can say. A very lackluster performance for them. Baylor didn't even look that good, honestly. Utah just shit the bed hard. You got Oregon escaping against Texas Tech. We knew that was going to be a close game. We both had Oregon winning, so that saved our pick'ems. But Texas Tech's got a team on it, man. I think Oregon showed great resiliency to come back and win that game. And then I think the last one I wanted to look at was, where was it? Cincinnati Pitt. Cincinnati beating Pitt. I think a lot of people had Pitt winning that game. Cincinnati won by 6 points. Other than that, last week was a good week. Oh, Rice versus Houston. We looked at that game at halftime. It was 28-0 Rice at halftime. And then Houston found a way to come back and didn't get the win, but forced 2 overtimes. Good on them. I'm not high on Houston this year, but to come back from 4 scores at the half and to almost win the game, good on him.
Yeah. So a lot of close games. There were some in-state rivalries. So and a few upsets pulled off. As far as the players, talking about the players, Quinn Ewers had he had a great game. He's definitely an NFL prospect for next year. Shedeur Sanders, he definitely showed out against a Big Ten defense. So he's definitely rising the draft boards. I'm trying to think. Travis Hunter, he's balling out as usual. Drake May, and those guys, they're just putting in the work. Caleb Williams is still number 1 right now. He's the cheat code. But other than that, that's all I gotta say about week 1. And you good? Or not week 1, week 2. Are you good on week 2? You ready to go on for week 3?
I'm ready. And by the way, Caleb Williams is running away with the Heisman right now. I know it's only been 2 weeks. Well, they played 3 games, but 2 weeks into the season, Caleb Williams is making a strong argument to repeat as the Heisman champion and be the second person since Eddie George, I want to say, to win back-to-back. And that was back in the 70s, maybe? Look out for that.
Didn't Manziel win back-to-back?
No.
No? All right, I'm tripping.
So. I don't think so.
All right. So, you really think, I think Caleb Williams is definitely at first right now. But I think it could be pretty close. You put Travis Hunter up there. Drake May can also be in the conversation, as well as Shedeur Sanders. It's still a long season, so we'll see. I feel like ultimately USC's defense is going to let them down eventually. But
Not if they keep scoring 55 points, man. They're doing really well right now.
True.
Yeah, Johnny Manziel only won the Heisman once. Sorry,
Okay.
just
I was tripping.
Just want to look that up.
I didn't watch the documentary. I didn't do my research.
I didn't either. Trust me, I've had enough of Johnny Manziel.
All right, so let's get started with week 3. All right, let's go. Not a lot of good matchups this week. It seems like next week it's going to be the week where we go back to having interesting matchups. But for now, we're going to stick with the ESPN game. And the first matchup they have is Kansas State at Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
So for this one, Missouri hasn't versed anyone notable yet, but Kansas State hasn't either. But they've been scoring more points against those opponents. I think they've been averaging almost 50 points a game or something like that. So that offense is flowing. The defense is able to get a lot. They're able to get turnovers, and they're getting a lot of sacks. So this team is showing out, but again, not notable teams. Neither has Missouri, but I would say Kansas State has looked better in those performances than Missouri. So I am leaning towards Missouri.
Wait, you're leaning towards Missouri?
I mean, no, Kansas State. I meant I'm leaning towards Kansas State. I am tripping hard right now.
Oh my God. Whew. That was about to be the biggest curveball.
That's why I had
since
you.
Texas.
You're here to save me.
You said Texas last week when you were bigging up Bama the whole speech, so I thought you did another one. I was waiting for the hat turn.
No.
I have Kansas State as well. The 3 factors I like to look at are obviously the passing game, running game, and who's coaching. Because defense, at the end of the day, defense is huge, but I don't weigh in on defensive line and secondary. I don't know enough about them. But those are the 3 factors I go in. Kansas edges Missouri in all 3 categories. The only thing that's going to help Missouri is home field advantage. They seem to perform very well at home during the day. Remember last year against Georgia, it was a noon game, and they almost upset Georgia at the Zoo. So keep a lookout for that. It's SEC versus Big 12. The last SEC program that Kansas State played was Bama in the Fiesta Bowl, I want to say it was. One of those bowl games.
Yep.
And they got smoked.
Yep.
They're looking for revenge. I got Kansas State.
All right. So we agree on the first game. There we go. Second matchup of the day, we got LSU versus Mississippi State Bulldogs. Mississippi State is at home, but just to say this about Mississippi State, since Mike Leach was there, they became an air raid offense. But since he's passed, rest in peace. They try to. It seems like they don't have an identity with that team yet. It seems they have a team built for an air raid, but they're kind of stepping away from the air raid offense, and they're still winning games as they're 2-0. But I definitely got LSU here. I think they're the better team. They know what kind of offense they want to run, and they got the better talent here. So all signs are pointing LSU here.
Yeah, I'll piggyback off what you said about Mississippi State. They're usually air raid. Without Mike Leach, it's more of a traditional balance approach, almost like FSU. A glaring stat that I see, Jalen Daniels has almost double the amount of passing yards as Will Rogers, whereas the Mississippi State running back has almost double the rushing yards as the LSU running back. So they're completely different offensive styles. I'm going to go with the better team, which is LSU. Be careful with this game, though. Mississippi State and LSU have been known to have good battles, and this may be an upset contender. I would lean towards an upset if this was a later game, because it's during the day. There's not as much energy around it. I got LSU winning pretty big.
Okay, we also agree on that matchup as well. We're on the same page for the first 2. All right, cool. All right, next one, Minnesota at North Carolina.
Hell yeah.
This one, I think this one's gonna be interesting. I think it's gonna be a close matchup. I like Minnesota.
Minnesota.
In they have a good defense. Their defense has been pretty solid. They've been able to create a lot of turnovers, able to get a lot of stops. But on the other side, you have a Heisman contender in Drake May. So that'll be hard to stop. And also, I don't trust Minnesota's offense.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm definitely leaning toward North Carolina here, as that offense is able to score points, and in that defense is able to get to the quarterback. Like you said before in the first video, the ACC defenses are able to get to the quarterback. So I think the key matchup here is Minnesota's defense against North Carolina's offense. But with the Heisman contender on North Carolina's side, I'm going with North Carolina.
Yeah, I agree. North Carolina, they slept walk last week against Appalachian State. They struggled. They're lucky to have won that game. If we're being honest,
Yeah.
they're lucky to win. Honestly, I don't think this game is going to be close. I think North Carolina destroys Minnesota. Now, I said that last week about Texas A&M beating Miami, but hopefully I can get this one right. I think North Carolina is going to overpower Minnesota. Minnesota doesn't have the offense that will match UNC's point scoring. UNC's defense is really good compared to a pretty lackluster offense as of right now. I mean, they only scored 13 against Nebraska, and we're lucky to win that game if it weren't for 3 turnovers by Jeff Sims. I don't know how good Minnesota really is. This will be the first test, I think, to see how good Minnesota really is. I got UNC big.
All right. There you go, UNC big. That game last week was pretty good.
I watched it instead
we're
of
on
the
same
Texas
page
A&M
again?
game.
You animal. How could you? That was. I can't believe you watched North Carolina instead of Miami, Texas A&M.
Well, the second half, I should preface. The second
Okay.
half I watched.
There you go. All right. Well, we're on the same page so far. Moving on to the fourth game. Yeah, fourth game. We got Virginia Tech at Rutgers.
Ooh.
Now here, this one's a good matchup as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting, as in it's like one of those mid-tier level games with mid-tier teams, but it's a good matchup. Virginia Tech lost to Purdue last week. I am honestly leaning towards Virginia Tech. I think that they'll be able to put points on the board. Rutgers haven't played anyone decent yet, whereas Virginia Tech's already battle-tested. Now, I got a question for you, Rhett. Did Virginia Tech's quarterback get hurt last week? Do you know?
I'm not
By any chance,
aware.
or no?
Who is it?
No? I don't know, because I think I was following Purdue and Virginia Tech, and when Virginia Tech was making that last drive to tie the game,
Uh-huh.
it was a different quarterback in place, so I don't know if he got hurt or not.
No.
So,
I think he's scheduled to play. Grant Wells you're talking about?
I'm not sure. Here, before I give my pick, give your breakdown, and then I'll look into that real quick.
Okay. I'm just checking, sorry. No, I think he's playing, man.
Are you good?
He's not hurt.
Oh, he is?
Yeah, he's
Okay.
playing. I can go with mine, though.
Yeah, go ahead.
I have Rutgers winning this game instead of Virginia Tech. Rutgers they've dominated the last 2 opponents they played. Granted, it's Temple and Northwestern. I don't think Northwestern's good at all. They're probably going to be the worst Big Ten team this year. And then Temple, who knows if they're even good. But because they won in dominating fashion against those 2 teams, their defense looks really good. I'm telling you, look out for Torrey, middle linebacker on Rutgers. Solid player. I think he's going to be an impact player, especially in this game. Virginia Tech almost beat Purdue. I don't think Purdue's as good as people are claiming them to be. I had them pretty highly ranked, I'm not going to lie, because I like Hudson Card. But he hasn't really shown me much. And Virginia Tech, they have 59 rushing. Their rushing leader this year is 59 yards. They played 2 games. So from that interpretation, they have no run game. If it's just going to be a passing attack against Rutgers, I'm going to take Rutgers. I'm going to edge them out this game.
Okay. So I feel like Rutgers is being slightly overrated just from those 2 wins.
Mhm.
I think Northwestern is probably like the worst college football team right now. They seem like very disorganized,
Fair.
and they also play Temple.
Fair.
I kind of like Purdue, so I feel like that was a kind of a good showing. So I'm actually gonna stick with Virginia Tech here.
All right, our first difference. Let's go.
There we go. All right, moving on. Oh, we got a big one.
This should be fun.
Tennessee at Florida. So, Tennessee, they got Joe Milton, right? Is it Joe Milton?
Yep.
Got Joe Milton. He has a cannon of an arm. He's definitely an NFL prospect just for that arm strength alone. Maybe I have slight concerns over his decision making, but other than that, this Tennessee team is very stacked. The defensive line is pretty good. They're able to get sacks. They have everything going for them. They're on the way to make a run. Whereas Florida lost to Utah pretty convincingly. Graham Mertz is there. He's there. The offensive line, there's a line,
He's there.
He's there. The offensive line is also just there,
Oh, that's hilarious.
Do they block? I'm not sure. It doesn't look like it. They block like a bunch of. I'm not gonna trust the line.
Oh my
But
lord.
it seems like Mertz is always under pressure.
Oh my god.
We supposed to have 2 good running backs.
Mhm.
They're supposed to kill it, but the O line is like, here, get this guy. It's all yours. Take him. But yeah, and then our defense, they can hold up, kinda. It's hard to tell. They played a good Utah team, and then they also played some crappy school last week.
McNeese.
So, McNeese. Like, where's that? Can you even tell me where that
I
is?
couldn't.
Exactly. Like, we beat them 49-0. So all signs are pointing Tennessee here. So I have no other choice but to go. I'm going Gators. I'm going to go with Gators. Screw it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You going Gators?
It's an upset. It's an upset lurking.
There we
It's at
go.
the Swamp.
There we go.
If Tennessee starts winning, I'll storm the field or something.
That's crazy.
Gators by any means necessary. I'm going Gators. Upset alert. I know.
Are they gonna bite kneecaps? Is that what's happening?
I think we're just gonna go head hunting.
Bounty gate all over again. Oh my lord.
Yeah, we're to see how many target calls we can get. We're to see if we can break the record.
I didn't expect you to do that. I know you were on your 15-minute monologue about the UF and how average they are. And then you did the
Yes.
switcheroony and said, you know what, Florida, by any means necessary, they're going to win by 50.
Screw it.
Now,
Yes.
let me bring some reason into this. ESPN has Tennessee winning by 55%. That's not crazy. I would have had Tennessee winning by 78%. So they have something against Florida. I think it's just the program, the legacy. Florida has not shown anything. It's been 2 games. If they would have played Baylor, would they have beat Baylor? I think Baylor would have run the table with Florida based on that game.
Baylor. Give me Florida.
Better relax, man. You might be playing Baylor in a bowl game if you guys get lucky and win 6 games. But, yeah, Tennessee,
If we win 6,
until they prove otherwise, I'm picking them to win until they hit Georgia. Joe Milton, he's, 28 years old? He's been in college since I was in high school. This is his chance. He's gotta capitalize on this one chance he has to be a starting quarterback at a really good school. I don't know much about Tennessee. I just know they're flaming hot right now. I got Tennessee. Yeah. I don't like the Gators. I remember last week I said I root for my Florida teams. I do not root for the Gators.
Yeah.
I
know.
got Vols. Big. Let's go, Tennessee.
Yeah. You know, they may be on fire, but Gators are mainly in water, so they can't get fire on water. So therefore, I'm going Gators.
Oh, Jesus.
That's my analysis right there.
Yeah. Can you move on? This is getting
Right.
you're losing credibility here fast.
I think I lost it already.
Oh my
It's
God.
been gone since week 1.
My Lord.
All right. Moving on.
Thank God.
Pitt. Pitt at West Virginia.
Here we go. Redeem yourself,
West
please.
Virginia.
Redeem yourself. I'm begging you.
Mountain Mama. I'm going West Virginia here. I don't like the quarterback at Pitt, Jankovic or whatever. He's kind of jank.
He should be playing soccer with that name.
I know. He has a less than 50% completion rate. He transferred from Boston College, and last year Boston College was just awful.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm more fading Pitt, I guess, than going West Virginia. They lost pretty convincingly to Cincinnati last week. Pitt did. And yeah, Vegas has it as a 50-50 game. And I'm going to lean towards West Virginia here.
Nice. I agree. I like West Virginia's running game with Donaldson Jr. I believe he's a sophomore. He's still very young in his college career. But man, he looks dominant out there. He definitely is an NFL running back at this point. And I think he's going to prove it against a very usually stout defensive line of Pitt. That's the only issue I have with this game. Pitt's defense is usually very good, very reliable. I think West Virginia is just going to score more points. Give me the Mountaineers. I don't know much about these two teams, but give me the Mountaineers.
All right. We agree. All right. Moving on. Syracuse at Purdue. So, I know you're not high on Purdue. I'm somewhat high on Purdue. I feel like they're being overlooked.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going Purdue here over Syracuse. I
Okay.
like their offense. I think they can put points on the board. Syracuse, I don't believe they played any good competition the last 2 games. They
No.
played, Western Michigan and Colgate.
Yeah,
So I feel like this would be like their first decent test
Yeah.
of the season.
that's true.
Purdue's been through some battles already. They're battle tested.
That's true.
I'm gonna go with Purdue. They've been close games. Unfortunately, they weren't able to pull it off the first one, but they were able to pull it off last week.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna stick with Purdue.
You know what? I'm a man of integrity, but you made some really good points there about Purdue. They played 2 really tough matches out the gate. I mean, who knew Fresno State was going to be they're not. We don't know if they're great yet, but
Yeah.
Fresno State and gave them a battle. That means they're battle tested, like you said. Virginia Tech, I don't know if both those teams are good, Virginia Tech and Purdue. They edged out Virginia Tech. Syracuse has played no one. We know nothing about Syracuse. The only thing I know about Syracuse is Schrader is a decent dual threat QB, and he's a veteran of the game. I believe these 2 teams played last year, and Purdue edged it in the Dome. So give me Syracuse away from home in Purdue. It's going to be a fiery game at Purdue. They have a great stadium. The atmosphere of that game is incredible. Honestly, I might be tuned into this game just because I love seeing that Purdue, the black and gold. I'm just going to edge the veteran QB. He's seen a lot more games than Hudson Card. He's going to be a game manager. Give me the orange by 3 points.
Okay. I think it'd be a close game. I don't think Purdue's gonna win convincingly. I think they're gonna have to fight for it. Syracuse looks pretty good with that rushing attack. That defense was able to get 7 sacks. I think 3 picks so far, and forced fumbles. So 4 total turnovers, but against 2 Western Michigan and Colgate. I'm pretty sure Colgate's the toothpaste. So, moving on.
You're not wrong.
All right, moving on. TCU and Houston.
Oh, Syracuse won that game,
this one.
by the way, last year.
Oh, yeah, Syracuse did?
Yeah, by 3. So I'm going Syracuse again by 3. Let's go!
All right, revenge game for Purdue then. All right. Moving on. TCU, Houston. I feel like I don't know what analysis I can give. Houston lost to Rice, led by JT Daniels, and who's on his like 4th team. And if it's on his 4th team, that's probably a sign that he's not very good. So I'm gonna go with TCU. They lost to Colorado. They won last week, but I think Colorado's legit. So I think this is a pretty good TCU team that can put points on the board. So give me TCU here. I'm not high on Houston at all.
I agree. TCU better win this game. If they don't win this game, they might not even make a bowl game this year. This is a huge game. They need this game. Houston, this is probably the weakest Houston team we've seen in years. They surprised me against UTSA, but then they showed me exactly who I thought they were against Rice. I got TCU big. Let's go Horned Frogs.
All right. I got to agree with you. So, yep, we're both going TCU there. Next matchup, the matchup of the week, believe it or not.
Wow.
Colorado State at Colorado.
Wow.
What a game. Whoa. I wonder who you're going to think. Colorado's only a minus 2,500 favorite. So
that's not bad.
Give me Colorado State. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Colorado's at home. Shedeur Sanders, Travis Hunter, prime time. That's all you need. Versus Colorado State. This is supposed to be a rivalry game, but come on. Colorado's ranked 18. Colorado State only played one game. They lost. 99% of the people are going Colorado. I'm part of the 99. Give me Colorado.
Yeah, believe it or not, I agree. Colorado is going to run the
Whoa.
table. It's the Rams versus the Buffalo. There's not much fun about this matchup, honestly. Even the time slot it's at 10 p.m. Eastern time. That no one's going to stay up for this game. I get it's on game day, but game day should have gone to Morgantown in West Virginia. That's where game day should have gone. They went to Colorado too soon. I don't like this pick for game day, but whatever. Give me Colorado by 50.
By 50? Yeah, all right. Fair enough. West Virginia would probably be interesting because that's where Pat McAfee went. So
I was hoping
cool.
they'd go, man. I was hoping they'd go to Morgantown.
Yeah. They probably should have saved Colorado for like one of the bigger games like Oregon, USC, or Utah.
I have a theory that they think they're going to get...
I guess.
I have a theory that ESPN thinks Colorado is going to get stomped out against Oregon, so they have to capitalize on the hype right now and go to them this week because they're going to get wrecked next week.
That would make sense.
We'll see, though.
Yeah, that would make sense. All right. Moving on to our last game. An exciting matchup here.
Yes,
Fresno
sir.
State at Arizona State. Fresno State, Bulldogs, and then Arizona State, you got the Sun Devils. Take it away, Rhett.
All right, Jesus. I was looking up when the last time Fresno State went 3-0. It's probably pretty recently, honestly. I'm really high on Mikey Keene at Fresno State. He's shown very good flashes so far this year. The only thing that concerns me is they did almost lose to Eastern Washington, which is an FCS program last week. I think
that was a close game.
I think they were coming off the highs of the Purdue win and sleptwalk a bit against Eastern Washington. I think this Fresno State team is exactly what we think they are in terms of a reliable Group of 5 team that can compete against lower grade Power 5 schools. And Arizona State is exactly that. Arizona State this year is young. They have a second-year coach. I don't remember the record last year, but it wasn't good. They didn't make a bowl game. Give me Fresno State away from home under the lights. That's the only thing that's tricky is it's at Arizona State. But I'm gonna go Fresno State. They're favored by 3 points. Give me the 3 points. Fresno State should win this game, and I hope they do.
Okay, fair enough. So Fresno State was in a close one with Eastern Washington, and Arizona State was in a close one with Southern Utah. So I'm trying to figure out which one means more. Fresno State beat Purdue. ASU lost to Oklahoma State. You know what? This is college football. College football, sometimes, they barely make sense. Give me Arizona State. I'll take Arizona State. I'm just going to fade you here. I don't really know much about either of these teams. So bring it on.
Can I just let you know that Eastern Washington is one of the best FCS programs? Will that change your mind?
I meant to say Fresno State. I'm going Fresno State. I'm riding with you, Brett. I trust my regional college expert. So we're both on Fresno State.
I will say this.
Great.
Eastern Washington got stomped out by North Dakota State 2 weeks ago, 35-10. Is that going to change your mind?
With that said, I'm actually going to fade you, Rhett. Just kidding. No, I'm sticking with Fresno. I'm going to stick with Fresno. They beat Purdue. I'm going to stick with my opinion on Purdue. So I'm going to say that's a good win. And I'm going to go with Fresno State.
Oh,
all right?
my Lord.
So
incredible.
I'm sticking with Fresno State and the Gators. Give me the Gators. They're going to win against the Vols. It's going to be an upset. We're going to get ranked. We're making the playoffs. We're winning the Natty. So, with all that said, that's week 3. So, I know it's a lackluster week for college football, but thanks for watching anyway, guys. Rhett, you want to add anything?
No, not add anything. Share, subscribe, and make fun of us in the comments, because we make it very easy for you guys. Please do it.
Very easy. There's one more matchup I want to get your opinion on.
Oh, boy.
So,
oh, Jesus. All right.
Bama at USF. That's a banger. That'd be a close one.
Oh, my Lord.
Your alma mater.
Can you imagine if USF pulls off the victory? Can you imagine?
What chance are you giving them? How much % chance do you think they have?
I'll give them a 6% chance to win the game.
6%.
Well,
Jeez.
I will say this. If USF can come out the gates firing, maybe put up a couple points early in the first quarter, maybe a field goal, a touchdown, hold Bama to a couple stops, you never know what a momentum can do. But this is at Raymond James Stadium. USF only has... I couldn't even tell you the amount of people, the students that are
home field advantage.
There is no home field advantage when you're playing at Raymond James. So this stadium holds 75,000 people. Maybe 20,000 will be there. It's going to be a raucous crowd. All right, this crowd's going to be going for it. We're very one-dimensional. We have in the passing, rushing, and receiving yards, all our leaders' last name starts with Brown. So, Bama, wow. Give me Bama by 85.
85? I don't know. Raymond James, I feel like the fans are going to be drunk. They're going to be rowdy.
They will.
They're going to get Bama nervous.
Yep.
Give me Bama by 90.
There we go. Yes.
All right. With all that said, we appreciate you guys for watching. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below your thoughts and picks on this week's slate. And thanks for watching. We'll catch you guys next week. Peace.